Hello, beautiful souls. This is Shaman Durek, and I'm so graciously honored to be here with each and every one of you. Such an honor and a blessing to be here with you. I was a bit under the weather for quite some time, so I needed some time to take care and nurture myself and to give myself the sustenance that I needed in order to be here and support all of you. But while I was in that space of nurturing, I've been creating beautiful energies and spells and things for you to do to keep your energies and your power completely lit and continue to amplify that energy out into the world through your beautiful energies and your graceful and beautiful spirit. It is an honor and a blessing to be here to serve you and to honor you and to see your greatness unfold on this planet as you are walking your path in life, as you are taking apart the old energies of conditioning and false thinking, malfunction in thinking, as I say, clearing these energies on a collective and individual level, allowing more light, more beauty, more joy, more love, more beauty and strength and power and prosperity and abundance and good well-being and all of these beautiful things to be ever present on the planet through your life and through the life of the collective of each and every one of us who are standing as leaders of legacy, leading the message of love, energy, wisdom, generosity, grace, beauty, prosperity, and beautiful creativity into the highest level. So right now, before we begin, I'm just going to go in and do a little prayer to open up the energies for each and every one of us. And then we will go into some personal healings and conversations and get this energy going to build the most highest crescendo of energy and light that is necessary for each and every one of us on the planet. The beloved Mother and Father God, divine angels, divine ascended masters, orishas, divine spirit animals, elemental beings, ancestors, and all spirit guides and spirit helpers, and all beings that are sentient and aware of the divine consciousness of unconditional love and acceptance, kindness, generosity, and profound nature of our Mother and Father God's love for all that is created and forever will be created for all eternity. We are so grateful and thankful that you instrumentally, continuously go into our lives to show us how powerful we are, how beautiful we are, how gracious and what kind beings we are, and how we bring so much love to the planet by dispelling the lies and the energies and conditionings that have been placed upon us by people in our childhood, in our times of being in school and education, or times that we've dealt with people who we put in positions as authority figures. We are removing these energies of false perception upon ourselves in our community, releasing ourselves from the lies and all of the energies that people have placed in their words and behaviors and in the way that they showed up for us, by helping us to fortify ourselves in our resilience, our ability to recognize divine wisdom, calling it in every day, by nurturing ourselves through devotion of spiritual knowledge and information, that we become a vessel, a light, ability to demonstrate to the world what love looks like, what compassion is, what does prosperity and abundance when held in consciousness of love operate in? How is it that we as beings can show up in the most beautiful way as demonstrations of Mother and Father God's love on the planet and child God's love on the planet Earth, as we embrace all people, all cultures, ideas, and concepts that hold the highest frequency of love. And we begin to transmutate, transform all lower frequencies of lack, limitation, and fear until it reaches a crescendo of love that is available for each and every one of every human being on the planet who seeks to have a better life, who seeks to feel good and nurtured inside, who seeks to acknowledge themselves as this divine presence in walking living order in the flesh living body that we have been given by the elemental spirits, who are so graciously given us eyes and ears and tongues and mouths and chins and noses and chest and body and everything in order to live in this embodiment on this planet. We are so grateful and thankful for all the blessings of healing, transformation, transformative energies in our consciousness, in our spirit, in our emotions, in our body, and in our soul, so that we can generate and create the most magnificent, most powerful, dynamic life ever lived in this here and now. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, divine presence, divine mother and father God, child God, all the divine beings. Ashe, Amin, Amen. Namaste, Mashallah, Aho, Aloha Nui Loa, and all the blessings that come from every culture and every place on this world. We are so grateful and thankful. So be it. All right. So now we've created a beautiful energy field, a vibrational energy plateau that is moving and shifting consciousness at a higher dimensional frequency. And we are opening up these foundational waves of energy. Now, for those of you who really want to start understanding how to use your abilities to step into collapsing energetic frequencies, you definitely want to come to my Thursday webinar on the quantum physics webinar. We'll be talking about quantum physics operating in the spiritual context and how we collapse waves, how we move energy from matter and move into different awarenesses of how to bring things into manifestation, clarity, and consistency within our lives. So if you're not signed up for that, or if you can't make it, but do sign up so you can watch it later, it will do you the greatest good for you to have this information. As those who have come to my webinars in the past, you know that all of the webinars and all of the information that my family and I create for the family of leaders of legacy is for the awareness and the evolution of each and every one of us to recognize our peak potential of what we can be and who we truly are in this embodiment and in this lifetime as sovereign beings of infinite potential and love. So wonderful. So it's such an honor and a wonderful experience to be alive at this time in evolution, through the great transitions that we are moving through as we begin to raise the feminine frequency on the planet, through acknowledging the discord of masculine energy that holds the lack of compassion and kindness and empathy for humanity played out by some of our world leaders and people who are sitting in positions of power. We are here to witness them, not to be afraid of them, not to feel that the world is falling apart, but to see that Spirit is giving us another looking glass into what we are shifting on the planet, and that we are able to move beyond the consistency of this energy being permanent to being temporary, realizing that everything that we see and everything that we are profoundly experiencing is only there to get us to shift our consciousness to what we do want and why we do want it, right? Not to focus on what we see as our reality. Remember, everything in the universe is showing up to ask you, is this the energy that you require and desire? And if not, it is our great responsibility to be aware of what is not in alignment energetically for us and let the universe know that, no, we do not accept this reality, and this is what we want our reality to look like, and this is how it will make us feel. The more we create what is called a reservoir of clarity for the universe to be able to flow. Think of the universe like an ocean that's just continuously moving, and we are these conductors of moving frequency to the right places where they're supposed to be based on what we feel is right for us and what we feel is not right for us. And so it's important for us to be aware of this of this and be able to move with these energies instead of seeing them as attacking us or being a victim to it or feeling upset. Sometimes people will go into relationships and go, oh, that person hurt me. No, they didn't hurt you. Only you can hurt you based on your awareness and how you perceive that information. Remember, hurt isn't something that someone does to you. It's something that you believe that's being done to you. The energy is what they're doing is demonstrating to you, do you like this type of energy in your life? And the universe is saying, instead of saying that person hurt me because they betrayed me, or they hurt me because they lied to me, or they cheated on me, or, whatever the reason may be that people create these ideas of getting hurt from someone, it's better for you to say, thank you, universe, for showing me what I've called in. And now let me be very clear that this is not something that I accept in my reality. And therefore, this is what I want in my reality. And it would make me feel really good. Because when you are operating on this idea that you're getting hurt, you actually freeze time and you make it a belief system of reality. And remember, reality is not real. Everything you see in front of you is moving at high level speeds, but the reason why it stays permanent is because you're putting your consciousness on it and you're giving it a narrative and you're creating a storyline behind it and you're claiming it by saying, this is happening to me. So when you do that, you actually trap particles, molecules, and energies that stay in a state of permanence for you. Right? So what you see in front of you is what you were thinking in the past. And if you want to see something new in front of you, it's what you're doing right now. And if you read my book, Spirit Hacking, you would understand this is a very important chapter in the Spirit Hacking book that I wrote, which is about the idea of what you are experiencing is the way you were thinking in the past. So if you want to change, right, this energy, then it's what you're doing right now, how you're thinking right now. So if you're thinking beautiful energies right now and knowing that beautiful things are showing up and that you're going to be, that you're prosperous, you're abundant, you're, all of these good energies right here, right now, then that's what's going to come the week and the month and the year to follow. What you're experiencing in the here and now is what you were thinking about in the past. And so we always want to, if we want to speed up energy, all we have to do is bring it into the past relative understanding, which means instead of me saying, I'm going to go do this, wasn't it amazing when I did blah, 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 blah? Because if I say I'm going to change, right? The universe is all about clarity. So clarity would reference the idea the universe goes, okay, so you say you're going to do this. Do we know when? Is there a date, a time? Is there a moment that this is going to happen? Is it a month? Is it a week? Is it on a Saturday? Is it on a Monday? Is it on a Wednesday? Where and when is this going to happen? And so because you don't bring that level of clarity to the universe, think of the universe like a super AI, right? And there's nothing wrong with AI, but it's about how you utilize that AI. So think of the universe as this supercomputer that's so smart and so powerful that it listens to your thoughts, it listens to your reactions, it pays attention to your words and your descriptions, and it bases energy based on those energies. So if I say I'm scared right now, the universe is going to open up a portal to where fear exists and bring it forward for me. If I start thinking negative, I'm maybe sitting in a room right now, but I'm actually descending into a lower dimension where other beings who also feel that energy exist. If I am hoping about creating change, but I'm still in the field of hope, that means I haven't made a decision that it's actually going to happen. Then I stay in what we call a limbo state of hoping and waiting for something to happen versus claiming it into full visual feeling experience of bringing it into fruition. If I am saying that life is beautiful, then spirit is going to open up a dimension where beauty exists and bring it forward into my reality and then see how I respond to it. And if I respond to it with excitement and joy and tell the universe, I want more of this, or I'm enjoying this, and this is what I'm looking for more of, then the universe will send more of it. Do you understand? But it's not going to operate on these half ideas of yours of, I'm going to create change in the world. Okay. When, where, what, how are you doing this? There's no information there, right? So it's important to always look at things from a past tense if we want to see things manifest quicker, and also being mindful of the narratives that we are playing out. How do I deal with the situation that everyone I meet, even people I don't ask me for money, and it hurts me because I don't have it. I never ask anyone for money, and I do help if I want. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I need to bring you up to ask to answer to go live so you can ask that question. So you're referencing it. So let's go bring you up on stage. See if you accept that live. Let's see if you do or not. If not, I understand. You haven't accepted it yet, so looks like you're not wanting to come up on that. Okay, looks like Sakura, you need some support. Let's see how we can support you, my dear.
Oh, just a minute, please. Ah, hello.
Hello, my love. How can I support you?
Ah, finally, it's happening. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, I have some health issues since ever. I don't know, when I was a child. It already started when I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, I guess. And I think it has something to do with my family. Maybe something karmic. I don't know, because
Okay, so let's
my
not
whole,
focus so much
yeah.
on why you have it versus that you
hmm
have. What exactly have you been, what kind of relationship have you been having with the health issues?
Good question. Well, it was always very hard, I guess. I never accepted it to
Okay,
have these.
that's not what I mean. What I mean is that when it comes to health in the body is always there to show us or communicate to us some aspect where we are misusing or utilizing our energy in a way that is not necessary. Now, some people create health because they use it as a way to get attention from their family. Other people create health problems because they're reflecting the suffering of the world through their bodies.
Mhm.
Other people get health problems because they don't take care of nurturing themselves properly because either they're burning themselves out, not eating the right foods, or putting toxins in their system. Some people have health problems because there is a genetic marker that's creating that health issue that stems back to something that they have to clear within their family ancestral bloodline. Some people have health issues because the environment they're in is actually toxic and aggressive to their energetic field. They may be more sensitive than they actually realize they are. Some people have situations because they're subjecting themselves to mental abuse every time they put themselves down or say they're not good enough or they're not doing enough, or they feel that they're not meeting other people's expectations, so therefore they feel they have to make themselves sick as a way of punishing themselves for not meeting whatever expectation they believe they're supposed to meet. Okay, so there's many reasons why we create health issues. I myself am a candidate of the world of health issues and constantly transferring through those lessons. So I'm with you on that journey. But what I say is this is when it comes to your health, let's take a look at some things that you are not looking at or denying in your life energetically. I'd like to speak to the spirits that govern her life in this embodiment. What is some of the things that she is not governing in her life that is causing these health issues? So the spirit says wanting to take responsibility for other people's torment, other people's discord, other people's pain of internalization. That is the consciousness of I'm in my mother's womb. I can feel all my mother's emotions. My mom's not taking responsibility for it, so I'm going to take it on for her while I'm in her womb. That's where it first starts, right? So it starts in the gestation period. It moves, through through the process of the emotional exchange happening through the nervous system of both your mother and you while being in the womb, coming out into the world, how much chaotic energy is being exposed to as a child through your same person. So if it starts with your mom, that means that if the health issues instilled when you were young, it means that there is a discord within the structure of security, as we say shamanically, the structure of security within the foundations of holding space for you to build a healthy immune system and a healthy energetic body and a healthy nervous system and so forth, right? Mm-hmm. How your body off free radicals and toxins and viruses and pathogens and all of this stuff. And so, what we want to look at here is, did your mom create discord outside and then stuff it inside? Were the people around you stuffing their trauma inside, pretending like it's not there, making you empathically go in and pull it out of them and bring it into your own body, therefore causing what we call aggravated attack on your system through your empathic system as well as your neurological system, creating inflammation, imbalance in your intestines, creating what we call it's when your body feels that it's constantly under attack. Shamanically, the way we look at it is that it's a continuous attack upon the system that generates your body to attack itself. So it creates an autoimmune disease. It creates a functional field of awareness. Okay, so is that what you're dealing with?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I have the Hashimoto disease. I don't know. Yeah.
Dealing with thyroid. You're dealing with your thyroid. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that thyroid is connected to feeling that everyone is overbearing and not allowing you to express your truth because you're afraid of basically annihilation from your ability to communicate your truth, my dear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? So my question is, have you had a relationship with the Hashimoto energy that's showing up, right, to teach you a lesson on either correct this imbalance or go through this illness?
Well,
what has it been up to date?
So I think the illness wanted to teach me how you said to speak my truth, my inner truth, to speak it out loud. And I thought that I was getting better with it, but I don't know because it's not.
I like to speak to the spirit that governs her Hashimoto, that's helping her to heal it and bring resolution to it. Is she taking the necessary steps in order for her to heal the Hashimoto? Okay, so the spirit says that at times you do, but then you get lazy.
Okay.
And why is that, spirit? Spirit says you spend more time dealing with other people's energies than dealing with your own energy.
Yeah.
that it's been a constant tug and pull, Spirit says, to pull you back to yourself to continue this journey of healing versus you having to constantly get pulled back to other people's stuff. Spirit says there is no there's your being is capable and aware of what it needs, but for some reason you tend to put your needs aside. Not for some reason, it knows why you do it, but I'm just saying for some reason, but I already know you do it. Um, because of other people's needs seem more important. This also goes back to your childhood again,
Yeah.
because in your childhood, they said to me that you put other people in your family, their needs before your own, therefore making you suffer. So a lot of the hardships that you went through was because you were so busy wanting to make sure everyone else felt harmoniously in balance that you weren't allowing checking in with yourself to see what your needs were and were you honoring them. So every relationship you got in, it became about their needs and not your needs.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the spirit that's helping her to heal this, what does she need to do in order to begin really seeing change in this healing? So spirit says changing your diet.
Okay.
Very important. They said that you have to start eating certain types of vegetables that are going to assist with this. They mentioned carrots, and they're mentioning like carrots. That's interesting. I'm
Okay.
just going telling me. Okay. And what else? They said you have to draw very clear lines and the type of energy you choose to deal with. You're not here to clean up everyone's mess, and you're not here to continue to constantly keep falling into that martyrism energy. So they said once you start doing that, you're already going to see a greater change happen for your health.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, it's very interesting because I was always for me it was always important that my family is doing well, my friends, and all the people around me.
You have to give them, and that's great. That's a wonderful sentiment to feel. Like, I want my family to do well, but I know they're going to do well because I know that they're evolving because I am speaking it into manifestation. I am claiming the authority of energy that is supporting them to amplify itself for them. So, therefore, I can focus on the things that I need in order for me to be thriving and be operating at a high potential level. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What you do is you go into worry and you create unnecessary amounts of stress. And then you start taking on their energy as if you have to fix them in order to make their lives better. And that's what's causing balance in your thyroid.
Yeah, always. I know.
Okay. Does that answer the question, my dear?
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to serve you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, darling. Okay. It's very important for us to always be aware of what energies we are operating in and why we're operating. What are we doing, what we're doing, and why we're doing it, right? Are we doing it because we think we're going to get love from someone? Are we doing it because we need someone to validate us? Are we doing it because we want people to think that we're amazing? Why aren't we feeling that and thinking that and honoring that within ourselves right here, right now? Why do we feel that we need to do something for the world out there in order to be validated, seen, loved, and appreciated right here, when that is already given by our Mother and Father God and by the divine universe and by all the angels that surround you every single day? You just haven't chosen to put your awareness on that they are existing in that field of giving that to you, because you've been taught to keep looking outside of yourself instead of looking inside of yourself. And that's really an important factor when it comes to our evolution as leaders on the planet, right? Yes, exactly. So, how's everyone enjoying the post that I've been putting up and giving you some beautiful spells? And just so that everyone understands that the word spell does not mean black magic, it doesn't mean anything. That's all Hollywood. The word spell comes, it really actually means to speak words that activate power. That's all it means. So when you see me saying spell, because I have some friends who are religious and they're like, I can't believe you're giving people spells. And I'm like, spell doesn't have anything to do with anything. You're misinterpreting it completely. This is about you activating power. That's all it is. Priests do it, rabbis do it. I mean, people do it all over the world, and I mean, we do it to ourselves. Just when we open our mouths and we start speaking, we're casting spells every single day. When you say words like, I can't find my way through this, you are actually casting a spell that brings you into a place of limbo where you can't find your way through it. So we always want to be mindful and impeccable with our words. We want our words to match the vibrational frequency that we are calling into manifestation, right? And when I say calling in manifestation, I mean bringing into our awareness so that we can anchor it into reality, right? And that's really important. Okay, so who else wants to go live with me? I've been doing the walking meditation on the Lit Vibe. If you guys haven't checked out the Lit Vibe meditation app, that's available on Google and also on Apple. We are now moving to the next phase of it. So it's almost going to be the new rebuild is going to be done. But if you haven't got on it and joined the community, we're having amazing conversations, sharing beautiful ideas, and getting lit by these powerful activations that activate your power and energy in a very short way. When I read the post, I heal the frequency of it and it makes me feel lifted and seeing the things in my life from a higher, let me get that last word in there, higher frequency too. Love them. I'm so happy to hear that. It's a pleasure to create them. Spirit said to me, oh, you should go back to creating spells and things for people to access to recognize themselves. So I said, yeah, that sounds great to me. How can I understand what is my silent drum? What is the path that I'm hiding from? So the thing is, the drum is the part that when the drum starts drumming, it's the part of your being that wants you to do that makes you feel motivated or feel inspired. You get like a really unique idea that comes through. And then what happens is it's asking you to follow that, to like give energy to it, to breathe into it, to speak about it, to give love to it. And when you are not letting those things happen, right, then you're just withholding yourself from allowing that drum to be heard. You're making excuses, or maybe you're keeping yourself numb to it from not listening because you're listening to everyone else's drum, but not listening to your own inner drum that's drumming you into magnificent capabilities and possibilities that can be profound for your life. And that's what we're talking about, Polina. Okay. So someone says here, me please. Okay. Spiritually good karma. Okay. So let's see how we can support you.
Hi,
I,
how are you doing?
I'm wonderful, my dear. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I'm I'm trying to really understand because I feel like money does want to come in my life and come to me, but for some reason, like I feel like I'm not drawing it in, and I don't know why.
Let's find out. I'd like to talk to the spirit that governs our beloved sister and create prosperity in her life. Um, you heard that say, what's your on the matter? Um, okay. So spirit says that you have a belief. I can hear you. There's a lot of noise.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just put my
Oh,
AirPods in.
okay, perfect. Spirit says that you have a belief that if you make money, someone's going to come and take it from you. You have a belief that if you accumulate wealth, people are going to take it from you, and you don't have the restraint to stop them from taking it. So you just stop yourself from having it. It's kind of like your protection that you're creating. Why do you think people are going to come and take it from you?
Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm not making as much as I desire to, but I definitely want to because I want to provide for my children
But who do
and
you
my
feel
family.
is going to take it from you? So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and I want you to ask the question, why do I feel that if I have money, something's going to take it away from me?
Um, I'm getting like I'm feeling like I hear the word like evil or like and then I feel like emotional about it, like
Mhm.
almost like a sense of tears in my eyes a little bit.
Yeah. And so what I felt was this. I felt like there's part of you that feels that what's going to take it from you is this part of you that feels that you don't deserve it. And you're tying all these ideas of not deserving onto it. And it's not real. It's old energy. A lot of it has to do with this, with the color of your skin, right? Because we're black, right? And so we've been taught in this world since we were kids that that we're not supposed to have things where things are going to be harder for us. We've been inundated with this struggle within the black community of having to rise out of that old paradigm that was placed on us by stealing generational wealth, right? And
Yeah,
so there's that fear inside that I'm sensing that if you get money, something's going to come and take it away, like a bill or something's going to come and take it from you. And so then you're going to be left with nothing again. So because you keep believing that, you're not thinking in expansion, you're not thinking in prosperity. When you think in expansion and prosperity, you have to think in knowing that more and more is coming. And you
yeah.
have to know it. You have to believe it. You have to be like, I know more is coming. And who is this beautiful baby over here?
His name is Shine,
Hi,
like
Shine.
like sunshine. He can't hear you because the AirPods on, but he sees you.
Yeah. Baby. Hi, beautiful baby.
Thank you.
You understand what I'm saying, my love?
Yes.
So the mindset, right? So I'm going to send a frequency to you right now so you can feel what mindset is. And just tell me when you feel mindset of fortified thinking, that money comes to you and that's the way life is. Okay? Just feel that. And you start to think money comes to me the way life is.
When it comes to me, that's the way life is.
Tell me when your mind starts thinking that and feeling that in your body.
Yes, I feel a sense of calmness.
Yes. And tell me when that gets stronger. I'm just going to turn up that frequency.
So,
It's the way it is. It's just the way it is. That's how life is for you. Money just comes to you. It's just the way it is. That's how life is.
yes, I feel like my energy is like radiating out for some
Yeah.
reason.
Because now when you hold into that truth, right? That's when you shift the frequencies in the universe out of the lack energy and into the sustenance energy. That's when you're basically saying to the universe, like, of course, money comes to me. That's my normal. That's my everyday.
Yes.
Just like air comes to you every day. You can breathe every day, can't you?
Yes.
You
Yes.
ever think that you can't breathe?
Right. Just it's natural.
Exactly. So you have to have the same feeling that you have towards the fact that you get to breathe every day because the universe created air for you to breathe every day. The universe has created wealth for you to have every day too. It's just that you're not letting it in, so the universe is not going to fight your ego to get it in. Do you understand?
Yes. Absolutely. I definitely feel like, like I said, like I feel like I can attract a lot of, things financially and I get like a lot of ideas and inspiration. But, like it's me that's, stopping it from, coming in or
Let's
like
let
I said,
the words to in the past, I stopped it from coming in
in the past, I stopped it from coming in
because I didn't go to God and ask for truth.
because I didn't go to God and ask for
Now,
truth.
watch, go like this. Listen to the darkness tell you that money is hard, that it's going to be difficult for you to make money. Tell me when you hear darkness speaking to you.
Yeah, it's like you're never gonna get it. You can't, and it just like feels like they're pushing this pity on me of trying to make
Yeah,
me feel sad and like why are they doing that?
good. Now I'm going to show you something, okay? So this is
Mhm.
how darkness works. Darkness is hoping that it can convince you before you have a chance to go to God for proof. So
Yeah.
this is how the underworld spirits work. Their job is to be like convince you to buy the broken down car before you can get a fancy car. So what they want you to do is believe them and what they're saying before you can go to God, our spirit, our angels, or your ancestors, or the spirit guides, and ask for truth. So now you heard what darkness had to say. So now I want you to say, God, is that true?
God, is that true? And I hear like, why would you believe it?
Exactly. Now you're listening to spirits. Now say, Spirit, do you want me to come to you when I get any idea?
Spirit, do you want me to come to you when I get any idea? I hear like, of course, why not? Like, and I'm hearing that I need to pray more.
You were never here. You were never meant to walk alone, my dear. We don't walk
Yeah,
alone on planet Earth. When people say, oh, I feel so lonely, I'm like, you do? There's so many spirits in the room with you and your ancestors and all these beings. How could you ever feel lonely? I never feel lonely.
yeah, definitely. And, um, I was also gonna say, how can I open up my spiritual gifts more? So,
Okay, so let's go into the idea of spiritual gifts. Okay. So let's get out of the word spiritual gifts and let's just simply say, open myself up to the limitless amount of power that I have access to.
open myself up to the limitless amount of power I have access to. I'm here.
Yeah. Because people like to see these things as gifts, but then that limits God and spirit and the divine from showing you the limitness of your being because you're dialing it down to gifts, which means like one box here, one box here, one box here, when you can have billions of boxes that you didn't even know were available to you because you're dialing it down to some kind of gift. So it's not that we're gifted. We are just powerful, dynamic beings of infinite potential. So the way you open your power to that is by activating that awareness in your being. So what we're going to do right now is activate that awareness into your being. Okay. So all I'm going to do right now is basically just say, I'm going to call into awareness that which is true, and all you're going to say is yes, the way that we say yes or no to life's every situation that happens in our life. Okay.
Okay.
So, right now, you are opening up your body right now for recognizing your limitless power. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And because you're opening up your body right now to your limitless power, you're starting to breathe deeper and cycle old energies out of your body.
Yes.
This is giving you a high vibrational field of connecting to the source at a higher level.
Yes.
And that vibration is increasing in your body, and you're beginning to let go of all of your fears of the unknown.
Yes.
This is making it so that your body can now start to feel energy moving into your system.
Yes.
That energy is getting even stronger, and therefore anything that you've been holding on to that's been causing lack or limitation is releasing out of your mouth and throat through either deep yawn, deep cough, continuous swallow, or burping, or taking the deepest breath you've ever taken.
Yes.
This energy feels really good as you are now opening up these doorways to allow the light to shine directly on you.
Yes.
And it feels so good to be in this heavenly presence that is always present, always there, just wanting you to put your emotions and your awareness on it.
Yes.
You can feel the spirit in the room with you right now, blessing you and honoring you.
Yes.
You realize that you come from queens and kings of heaven,
Yes.
and that what you've experienced on earth here on the planet is not real unless you say it is.
Yes.
Every day you are calling in to the universe to send things to you so that you can decide if it's a yes or a no. And you're learning how to say yes to more beautiful things that life has to offer.
Yes.
You can feel this power opening up inside of you right now and awakening all of these spiritual openings in your body.
Yes.
It's getting stronger, and you can feel the vibration right now, can't you?
Yes.
The vibration is getting stronger and stronger that you can feel it moving certain parts of your body.
Yes.
And it feels so good to feel this vibration moving through you, doesn't it?
Yes.
Now, just in that experience, how did that feel, my love?
I feel something in my throat chakra is like something in my throat chakra, like I'm not like it's like I'm blocking it off in some way.
No, you're not blocking
My throat.
off. That's an opinion. You could
Okay.
actually, that feeling you're feeling could be you actually opening your throat chakra.
Yes.
But as you're saying you're blocking it off, you just changed the direction of what spirit was doing.
Open it up. Yes.
So do you claim that you're opening your throat
No.
chakra?
Yes, I claim I'm opening my throat chakra, and I don't take ownership that I'm blocking
There
it.
go. Now you are speaking like a powerful woman that I know you are.
Thank you.
Do you see how powerful you are here?
Yes.
Do you see what a gift you are to God's kingdom
Yes. Amen.
and how wonderful it is to have you on this planet?
Yes.
Thank you
Thank you.
for allowing me to serve you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything.
You see the difference you feel in your body now?
Yes, I feel like very happy and uplifting.
Yes. And do you see the power inside of you?
Yes.
Very good. And every day you're going to grow that power, right?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you so much, Shaman Durek.
It's a pleasure to serve you, my daughter. Thank you for allowing me to serve you.
Thank you.
You see, in life, everything that the universe sends to us is energy, situations, circumstances, right? But it's not asking for us to claim ownership of everything. It's asking us to build a relationship of clarity with the universe. When you say, yes, I accept that into my reality, then the universe brings it in. If something shows up in your life that you do not like, you say, no, I do not accept that in my reality. And then you tell the universe, this is what I want, and this is how it'll make me feel. The more the universe starts to learn about your personal signature, because you're actually in constant communication with the universe and the energy that it's sending you, the more you're going to be able to orchestrate energy and move energy into your life in the most beautiful and powerful way. Very much how I met my wife, for instance. I dated a lot of women, and I've dated two men in this lifetime. And in that relationship, I realized that none of those relationships were actually the ones that actually made me feel fully seen, loved, held, and acknowledged at the highest level of my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical being. So it wasn't that those other relationships weren't uh, great relationships. Some of them were, and some of them weren't. It was that it wasn't completely fulfilling all. I was compromising on some level. So what I did was I started having these relationships in my life throughout time when I was a kid. And I started telling the universe, like, yeah, that feels really good. And no, that person that they're doing in that, like, I would have like some things that felt really good and some things that didn't. And Spirit says, are you willing to compromise, or are you willing for us to bring something even greater to you? And I was like, I don't want to compromise. So then I would break up from that relationship and call in the person that brings in more of the traits that I want versus the ones that I don't. And I would say yes and no. And then I would go higher and then higher and higher. And finally I was like, you know, you, I'm not going to say yes to that, even though this what the relationship that I had before the woman that I'm with now, which is my wife, was an amazing relationship. And, you know, she wanted to marry me and we wanted to have kids and all of these things. There was just one place where I was compromising, and that still wasn't enough for me to be satisfied. So I said, I can't you compromise. And the universe goes, fantastic. So now we'll bring in your ultimate partner because you have passed the awareness test of being honest and authentic and real with yourself by not compromising your integrity, your self-love, your awareness of what feels good and what doesn't feel good, just to not be lonely or to not feel that you're on this planet alone. And the moment I made that decision, Martha walked in. And I can't begin to tell you that the moment she walked in, I knew that she was the one, even though I'm such old school and I still needed to take some courtship time and, you know, and take her on dates and, you know, and really build a strong foundation, which I think everyone should do when it comes to relationships is don't just jump into a relationship, build a foundation of truth and transparency and trust, knowing that their actions have to match their words. It can't just be speaking and then no action, right? And so with my wife, I was like, you know, I want to build a strong foundation so that if any hurricane or any storm or anything that happens to us from the outside world, our foundation will not be shook. It will not be tear apart. No one will be able to break us apart by what they say, what they do. We are going to build a foundation of trust and transparency and love at a divine level. And I even told her this is going to be a divine relationship. And so that's what we did. We laid it all out, our fears, our insecurities, the things that we've done in the past, who we are. We're not changing who we are to make the other person happy. And therefore, can we still love each other unconditionally? Or is there parts of us we cannot digest or take in? And we were able to love each other unconditionally. So we knew we were ready to move forward into a lifelong relationship. And that became my life partner. She's my life partner. She's the only person I will be with until the day that I die. And that relationship doesn't mean that everything is perfect. What it means is that we don't see the idea of being perfect, but we see the idea of evolution, the ability to evolve together. That means what? That means taking responsibility for my own triggers, my own programming, and any male chauvinistic behaviors that I may have learned from my father or his father. It means listening to her, her listening to me being transparent, not hiding anything, not hiding anything, really speaking from truth and love, holding space for each other's intelligence and power. There's a dynamic understanding that you don't just go in a relationship, you go into a partnership of evolution. And as long as each person is willing to evolve, your relationship is going to prosper and grow and be amazing. Right. And, you know, what am I holding on upset or grudges towards all the other relationships that I've been in. Because a lot of times I see people going like, oh, I'm so upset with my husband who cheated on me and that. But no, be grateful for the experience of knowing what you do not want so that you can bring in what you do want and the universe has more clarity. And also be grateful that the person did what they did so that they can get it out of the way so you can see who they truly are and make a decision if you want to stay in that type of energy, or are you going to call in a higher grade energy which you deserve. Because ultimately, Mother and Father God want you to have the best of the best of the best of the best in every aspect of your life. So if there's any area of your life where you're not choosing the best, that's because you're settling for less or you're compromising. And then you have to ask yourself, why are you compromising? And what do you think compromising is going to get you? Is it going to get you acknowledgement? Is it going to get you security? Is it going to get you a feeling of not being alone? You're never alone. Alone is just a figment of your imagination because you associate loneliness with someone physically there. You're surrounded by spirits all the time. Yes, when you take a shower, spirits are in the shower with you. So you're never alone. So just acknowledge that. But the spirits that are with you in the shower don't judge you. There's no judgment from God's beings in the higher realms. There's no judgment in the higher realms, you see? You know, um, So that being said, it's important for us to be more kinder and more gentler to ourselves by by giving ourselves the ability to take a leap of choosing to not compromise and to be at the highest level of knowing that you can have what you truly desire if you're willing to walk through the fire. You can have what you truly desire if you're willing to walk through the fire. Right? And what is that fire? That fire is the fire of truth. It's the fire of surrendering yourself away from these insecurities and these things that you tell yourself that keep you stuck in these false beliefs. Okay? So also we have to understand too that everything in life is the universe asking you a question. Nothing ever is there to hurt you. It's only there to fortify you. So if you're asking the universe that you want to be a strong, powerful person, then expect the universe to throw some whammies at you and let the darkness take some jabs at you because it wants you to fortify and become strong and powerful. When I was a kid, I always used to ask, can I want to be resilient? I want to be a person who never gives up. I want to be a person who keeps going no matter what. And then the spirit's like, okay, so let's throw this illness at you. Let's throw this painful thing at you. Let's throw that at you. And it wasn't because they were punishing me or because I was a bad person. It was because I asked to be fortified, to have resilience. Like when the press writes all these crazy things about me or trashes my Wikipedia or, does all these very disgruntled things to try to make me look like a crazy shaman or I'm like a bad person or I shouldn't be with Martha or in her family or, any of these things that the media likes to do to get sensationalism and make lots of money off of selling tabloids and stories off of me. When it first started happening, um, I didn't realize the level of impact, how it would really affect me. And then it gave me this opportunity to go inside and go like, do I really care what they think? Is that why I'm in so much pain? Because I'm so concerned that other people will think that about me and buy into their lies. And then why am I getting hurt right now? Why am I letting them take away my joy, my happiness, my salvation of freedom of enjoying my time with my wife, my family, my kids, my bonus kids, and my friends and the tribe, right? So I had to go do a deep soul Scorpio dive because I am a Scorpio. I'm a quadruple Scorpio. So I had to do a deep dive in and look at these insecurities inside of like, why do I care what people think? Why do I care what they write about me and what they're saying about me and and all of these things and how it's affected me. And you'll see in my TV show that's coming out this year on Netflix. a lot of the things that I was going through in that process of coming to this realization. And the realization that came to me was that I was giving my power away by caring about what they had to say. I love that one. I was giving my power away by caring what they had to say. Not today, not today. Today I play, today I slay. Yeah. So anyway, the point I'm making is I was giving my power away, right? And I was watching how it was affecting me, affecting my wife, affecting my kids, affecting my family, affecting my well-being while they are making tons of money with their lies and their things that they were saying about me. And even like my Wikipedia, you go on it and you're like, who is this guy? They're saying I'm not a shaman. They're trying to say there was no shamanism in my family. They're trying to say my family didn't come from Africa. They're trying to say all these things, which is crazy because I know my family. I knew how I grew up. I knew what my life was like. They tried to say I was engaged to a man. I was never engaged to a man. I dated men before, too, to be exact, and I dated more women. I know who I am. I don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to go into being upset with myself. But the reason why I got upset with myself, because I was like, how could they do this to me? I've spent all my life since I was a kid devoted to people's development and growth and recognizing how powerful they are. I've traveled the world. I've gone to countries that were in war. I've done all these things. I'm such a being of love. How could they write such horrible lies about me? And then think and to try to convince people that that's who I am. And then God said to me, why do you care what they write? You know who you are. I know who you are. And the people who serve the light will see who you are. And the people who want to think bad about you, who already made their mind about you, who've already believed the darkness and listened to the darkness and live in the darkness, they're going to say exactly what the people are saying bad about you. And they're going to believe it. And there'll be nothing you can do to change their mind. And then it hit me. I own my power to not give my energy away to what someone else has to say. And then God took me another step forward and said, and who are they to speak on your behalf? Who are they to speak about what you experienced as a kid? And if you are a shaman, who are they to say that you are or you are not? You know who you are. You are who you are as you are within me. And therefore you are. And then God said, I am that I am is the proclamation of knowing who you are despite what someone else says. And then this light lit up inside of me. And I looked at my wife and I said, we got this. We got this. And from that day, we stopped giving our energy away to the media, to the world press about, us and what they think about us and what they, lies they're saying and all the thing. Oh, they didn't pay for their wedding and, making up lies to make us look bad. When all of these things are just lies that they say to make money off of us, we still have to be there for our children, our family, our friends, and for ourselves. And that's when we made a decision that no one can take our power anymore. You see, but that comes when we stop reacting and start looking at why we feel the way we do. Why is this thing affecting me? And why am I giving my power away? And who has the right to speak on my behalf other than God? Other than God, our mother and father and child in heaven, God. The angels, God. No one has the right to speak on our behalf other than God. Do you hear what I'm saying, beautiful leaders? And that's it. And so, what we get to do in this lifetime is no matter what people say and no matter what people do, we always keep ourselves in the light. I don't care if someone yells at you, calls you a name, whatever, you say you don't have to stoop to their level. You just simply go, I see you're upset. You have a lot going on. If you want me to listen to you, you would have to speak in a tone that's for me to listen, or I'm going to have to not listen to this because I don't listen to this people screaming at me. It's just very clear. You just lay the groundwork, just lay it down. And I'm very clear with people. I let people know exactly, like, I don't get into conversations of lack. If you want to get into a conversation of lack, it's not going to happen with me. Go talk to someone who enjoys that kind of conversation. That's not going to happen on my dinner table. That's not going to happen on my lunch table. That's not going to happen around my kids, around me. We're not going into a conversation of lack. I don't care. You want to share with me about your painful past? That's fine, but there better be a triumphant story in here. There better be some wakings, some awarenesses. That I don't want to hear, oh, you were abused as a kid. Yes, you were abused as a kid, but then I took that abuse and I turned it around and I created this. That's what I want to hear. And if you don't know how to get there, then let me help you get there. But I'm not going to go into the woo woo of the whoa whoa of the I'm sad and depressed and life sucks and everything is falling apart kind of consciousness. The narratives need to change. And it's our responsibility. If you read my blogs, it's our responsibility right now to start holding people accountable for the things coming out of their mouth and really correcting the narratives, because we don't realize that every word that we cast out of our mouth is a spell that is connecting with another spell and another spell connecting to the frequencies that are in sync with one another. And that's causing more chaos, more calamity, and putting people in positions of power that do not have compassion and understanding of empathy and mercy and kindness towards their fellow brothers and sisters on planet Earth. Look, I'm not here to say who's right and who's wrong, but I can tell you when something is not in balance, and I can tell you what it looks like and what it feels like. And that's when it's out of balance with love. The moment you start separating and cutting people off based on what you believe is right and what you deem is right, you have a right to hurt them, cause pain to them, or whatever, because you're creating these ideas of concepts that are not inclusive. To me, that's not love. And I don't believe in that. And, I don't know if you read my post that I put up yesterday, where I was talking about I see so much in the health and wellness and spiritual community, these trends of spiritual leaders and health and wellness gurus and influencers and celebrities and people just talking all the time at people and just but not engaging with them. I engage with the tribe. I engage with all of you. I don't believe in hierarchy. I believe that we are all leaders. And that's why when people write me and go, oh, I had a newborn baby, and I'll write and be like, oh, that's fantastic. And I'm like, oh, how's Bobby doing? How's such and such doing? People write me in my DMs and we connect, because I think it's important that we get out of this soapbox mentality of hierarchy just because you have tons of followers. I've been on TV. I had reoccurring roles on The Doctors. I've been on Bling Empire. I've been on many TV shows. I was a VJ at MTV. I've done music videos. I've done all kinds of things in my life. That doesn't make me any better than you. It doesn't matter how many books I've read, how many books I wrote. It doesn't make me any better than you. Just because I'm a shaman and I'm with my wife, who happens to be a part of what family, doesn't make me any better than you. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's not about hierarchy. It's about us supporting one another and growing stronger together as a community, as a family. It is about us holding each other in accountability. Just as much as places where you can see me grow, I want to hear. I have people writing me saying, Durek, I don't feel like you're drinking enough water. Durek, I don't feel like you're getting enough sleep. Durek, I don't feel like and these are tribal members calling me out. I'm like, call me out, boo. Call me out. If you feel like there's places where I can grow and you're coming from a place of love and not criticism and ridicule, call me out, because I want to grow and be a better person every day in my life. But I'm not going to listen to people who insult me, make lies about me, create stories and narratives that they don't deal with their own personal traumas in their own life and then want to project it on me because they haven't dealt with their own stuff. I don't play into that energy. What I do play into is kindness and fairness and a willingness for all of us to grow. And so the hierarchy of I'm Shaman Durek, ho ho ho, I know everything. No, I don't know everything. I have a lot to learn, trust me. And there's a lot of things that I'm learning, and I'm just happen to be on this constant evolutionary since I was a kid, I constantly spent a lot of time with spirit and constantly spent a lot of time with the angels and the masters and the different tribes and energies and so forth to gain perspectives and information from the spirit world so that I can share it with you, but I'm also sharing it with myself so that we can grow together, right? And be even more profound. And I think a wise person isn't someone who just knows information and regurgitates it, because I see that a lot, in these different communities on Instagram and TikTok where people speak spiritual things, but they don't really embody it. They don't really spend devotional time with it and apply it to their own lives and then share it with the world, right? We have to understand that wisdom isn't something that you get like this. It's something that becomes over time. You cultivate these seeds and the harvest of these beautiful wisdoms that grow, and then you share it with the world, right? And that's why the difference between the way I'm doing things versus someone who just reads a book and all of a sudden goes, I'm going to talk about it, is that when you come to my webinars and when you come into things with me, we're going into realness. We're not going into fluffy bunny fairy tale nonsense. We're going into real, deep, loving, nurturing aspects of seeing you as a leader, because that's what you are. Even if I say it to you, you don't believe it. I'm sorry, but that's who you are. So I'm not going to see you any other way other than being a leader, because that's what you are, right? And realize that we're in this thing together as leaders with each other, and that there's no hierarchy. And that whole thing that we see in celebrity consciousness or influencers or whatever, where they only focus on themselves. If you go to their page, they only post things in their story about themselves. That has to end. It's about supporting one another. That's why you see me post other people's stuff up, because I want the community to be seen and grow. As I grow, we all grow. We grow together as leaders together. I already see you as a master. I already see you as a leader. What I share with you is for your remembrance. And I'm grateful for your sharings as well. Let's continue to grow and build a beautiful community of lit leaders of legacy, recognizing each person and how powerful we are. And let's get away from the people who just keep on speaking at us and thinking they're better than us because they have more followers or more celebrity status or more awareness on TV or whatever, how many books they've written. I don't care. What I care about is the impact that you create to supporting people to see their potential. That's the only thing I care about. Everything else to me is nonsense. Pure, sheer nonsense. I'm not into this cancel culture nonsense, because evolution is a real thing and you can't be a cancel culture and then dismiss evolution. Everyone makes mistakes in the past. We have to rise out of those mistakes and become better people. So let's not hold people to their past transgressions, and let's help people to grow and become greater. Let's have more compassion. Let's have more love. Let's have more kindness, more generosity, and let's be kind and loving to ourselves and each other. And I think that if we continue to hold that as the pinnacle of our community, we're going to see great things happen on this planet. And I know that because I believe that each and every one of you is leaders, and leaders amongst leaders, masters amongst masters. And you always hear me say that. It's because we all are in this together. And the more there are people who are leaders and masters, instead of just one person following one master or one leader like they used to do in the past, with like people like Dr. Martin Luther King and Gandhi and all these people were these disciples. No, I don't want disciples. I want leaders amongst leaders and masters amongst masters. So do you say yes to that? Are you acknowledging yourself as a leader and a master in this embodiment, and that we're walking together as a community, not following the master or following the leader in this hierarchy nonsense? And if you're on board with that, then keep following me, because I have more things to share with you for our leadership and our power to rise and be powerful people, to share messages and energies, if you have things that you feel that I would be nice for me to post in my stories that are beneficial for the community, please share them with me. I'm very much interested in women's voices. As you know, I put a lot of posts about women and feminine rising and so forth, because I believe that we need to really focus on women right now, stepping into the position of their mastery so that we can create balance, right, on the planet. And if you saw the last video I posted, you can kind of get an idea about what my mindset is on that. I love you all so much. I'm so happy we got to do these healings today. We'll do some more lives now that I'm back in the saddle and I'm ready to go out there and charge forward with love, grace, beauty, honesty, authenticity, and looking forward to spending more time with each and every one of you. You can book sessions with me if you want to. You can come into our lives. You can do the healing temple. We have a webinar this Thursday that is mind blowing. If you haven't taken any of the other webinars, please go to the Shaman School and get those webinars because they're life transforming. That's information that's never been shared before. So I never regurgitate anything. Everything is fresh and new information. And again, I'm very grateful that you have the courage to show up every single day on this planet, to breathe air and to share your gifts and your beauty with the world. I'm so grateful that you've given me space to share my love with you and to share what's on my buffet table for you to partake of. If it supports you and nurtures you in the right way, then I am absolutely honored. And I will continue, and my family and I will continue to share love with each and every one of you. Remember how powerful you are. Remember, no one can speak on you, only God can. And remember that people who say things to you that are not loving and kind, it's only them projecting their own inner self-hatred on to someone that hopes will take it, and you're not accepting that reality as your truth. Because the truth can only be given to you from the source of creation, and God loves you with all of our mother and father's heart and child. God loves you infinitely and wants you to be happy on every level of your being. And all you simply have to do is ask, and you will hear God tell you every day how much you are loved. So with that being said, Amala Ashe. I love you all so much, and I'll see you again for the next live. I'm super excited. I love spending time with you. Bye, darling.